Hey y'all, so this is my 89 4Runner. I figured I'd show y'all around real quick and show you some of the things that we're going to be doing to it. Alright y'all, so I'll kind of show you from the front to the rear. Starting with the front bumper, that was kind of a custom bumper that the previous owner had built by a 4x4 shop. It's pretty intrusive, it sticks out above the window, not a huge fan of it. It has its purposes, it protects, the front end and keep you from, rolling forwards, over steep declines and whatnot, but I don't plan on doing any front flips in this thing, so I'm probably planning on cutting it down here, taking a foot out of it, shortening it down, trying to make it a little more flush. I need something kind of clean looking. Here in Missouri, we do get a reasonable amount of deer, so I would like to have something there to add a little bit of protection, but I don't need nothing crazy. We have a 12,000 pound winch in it, more than enough for this rig. It hasn't been used yet by the previous owner. I don't know what brand it is, haven't looked into it. A lot of the stuff worn off on it just from sitting. Down below, it has the rear springs up front at 85, solid axle swap, pretty common for these things. The previous owner did quite a good job on a lot of the stuff on this. You can see he boxed it really nicely, pretty good swap. There are a few weird quirks, like he didn't cut any of the previous suspension off of it, so you can see there's just a lot going on. I'm probably gonna end up cutting that off and really cleaning it up, try to make it a little bit smoother, but he did a pretty good job for the most part. You can see got the rollers and stuff still on there, really good boxing and stuff up front. So I'm pretty happy with it. We'll definitely try to clean that up a little bit, but otherwise it's pretty well built up front. The axle has currently got a Bluetooth drive shaft in it. It has an ARB blocker in there. Currently the air compressor installed is not hooked up, so we'll be doing that. I have all the equipment to do that. Maybe even do an extra little tank for airing up the tires or something. It has 529 gears up front and rear. Transmission is stock, supposedly rebuilt with the 22RE. Transfer case has been rebuilt and re-geared a little bit lower. The exhaust, we still got the cat. So like I said, we still have the catalytic converter on there. And the rear muffler is completely rusted out. I've already ordered a replacement muffler for it. I just went with a stock unit. I don't need nothing crazy. This is gonna be a hunting rig, so I'd really like something kind of quiet, pretty mellow for cruising around. The stock 22RE, I mean, we're only pushing like 70 horsepower. I don't need it to be making a lot of racket and revving my 4-cylinder around town. We just need something quiet, try to sneak up on some deer, get us in where we need to and back out. So at the end of the day, I just want something pretty mellow to cruise in. Don't really need the cat, but it's not hurting anything. It's in decent condition. It'll help kind of mitigate some of the fumes. A lot of y'all know with the K5 Blazers, convertibles, 22 or 4Runners, when you take the tops off or have the back window down, if you don't have the cat or you go straight pipes and stuff, it really starts to smoke you out. So I'm gonna try to leave all of that pretty well stocked, and we'll kind of see how that ends up. So the previous owner did this bumper as well. I'm gonna try to weld up a swing gate on it, possibly with some jerry cans and a rear tire on it. So I got that in order, hopefully be coming and do some fabrication on that. The rear axle is stock. It does have 529 gears in it as well, like I said. Match up front, give you a little bit more gearing for the larger tires and whatnot. Pretty common on these guys. I got new shocks that we're going to be putting on here. These old Ranchos are all worn out. They weren't very good to begin with, so that would be kind of nice. It does have a lunchbox locker in it, which is pretty nice as far as cruising around town and stuff. It doesn't really lock up unless you really get into it around tight parking lots and stuff. If you're just trying to cruise in, it does pretty good, but it will lock up nicely off-road if you need it to. It does have the 63 rear springs on it. Hopefully give us a lot of travel out of this thing. Like I said, I don't plan on rock bouncing it or doing nothing crazy, just trying to get us in where we want to and get us back out. All right y'all, so working on the interior. It's pretty well stocked on the interior, not a lot going on. I'm trying to do my best to find a stock replacement for the seats. I'd like to try to keep it, you know, period correct as much as possible. You know, it's not a huge classic, but at the end of the day, I don't want to put no crazy racing seats or anything in it. That's pretty much that. Obviously the 5-speed. You saw in the previous video, this was missing. So we put a new bezel in here. I'm gonna be showing you the radio that we're gonna be going with. I do have a CB radio that we're gonna be putting in, and then a switch panel to go with our new headlights, new fog lights, and some of the other things we're gonna be installing, the air lockers. So I got a new panel coming in. It's just missing a few of the plastics and stuff. You can see down here, not a big deal. We're gonna be putting, you know, a stereo in here and whatnot. So we'll be working on that. I think I'm gonna build something, like I said, a switch panel or something. I'd like to do some sort of cup holder deal in here. They have the cup holder that went up there, but I think I'm gonna put the CB radio in there. So I'll show y'all how I do that. I have a touchscreen deck that's gonna be coming in here, and I don't want my, you know, sodas or whatever spilling on my deck. That wouldn't be too fun. So I'm gonna try to retrofit this and put some cup holders in here. The previous owner was a painter, so you got a lot of paint stains on a lot of this stuff, which isn't a big deal. It's just gonna be a hunting rig, nothing, you know, crazy. My son loves riding in here. And the rear seats, not a whole lot going on. The carpet's missing in the rear, not a big deal. We'll probably just bed liner it or something. So here's the powerhouse of a 22 RE, full 70 horses for you. Supposedly been rebuilt about 50,000 miles ago. Given how clean it is and whatnot, I mean, the new spark plug wires and whatnot, the charcoal canister looks to be like not brand new, but it's definitely been replaced. So it's definitely been taken care of. All the smog equipment, it's the California truck, so all that stuff's still on there. The AC, I just put the belt on it. It was missing the belt. The clutch still isn't engaging, so I'm sure it needs to be recharged. Hopefully we get that AC blown because it's pretty hot. But otherwise, pretty well stocked. Looks like the radiator's been replaced. Might need to order something. It looks like it might have blown up at one point. So, but yeah, not a whole lot going on under here. All right, y'all, so this is the radio that we got for it. This thing's a freaking iPad. I'm 99.9% sure I wanted the 7-inch, and Amazon sent me the 10-inch. I've already checked it out. I think it's gonna work. Give it a shot, but this thing is huge. Definitely a lot more than what we're gonna need, but hey, they sent it to us, so we'll try to make it work. And this thing's pretty sweet. It's got Apple CarPlay, backup camera, it's got full GPS, pretty much anything that you're gonna need like a modern car. So that's gonna be really sweet when we're going out hunting and stuff. Possibly cell service, we'll still have our GPS. You can actually watch movies off of this thing. So I'll go ahead and drop a link to this down in the description if y'all wanna check it out. It's just an Amazon unit for like 200 bucks. So it's a pretty sweet little deal. So it turns out there's only one speaker in this entire vehicle, and it is not wired up. So we're gonna have to wait a few days. I ordered some nice speakers to go all the way around. So once those get here, then we will work on the radio. For now, let's jump in on the shop. So you can see this top bushing was completely blown out, pretty much useless. This whole shock, not doing anything. These Ranchos are pretty trash to begin with. So the Bilsteins will definitely help us out quite a bit. Getting a lot of body rock and swaying around, so it should help. All right. So as far as these bushings go, what I do, stick it on there. Little QB blaster. Move it up a little bit. WD-40, whatever. Grab your bolt that are in there. A little weight on it. I don't weigh very much. Took a little bit, but they go right there. All right, so this top bushing up here takes a little bit of finagling to get it on there since it's a little bit thicker. So basically what we're gonna have to do for this side, since our muffler is completely destroyed, and it's gonna be very difficult to get this shock out and put the new one on, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and zip this guy off of here real quick, since it's literally not doing anything and we already ordered a new one. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, y'all, so it's the next day. I think we're gonna try to work on some of the easier things today. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with these mirrors. You can tell they're all rusted out. The other side, I'm pretty sure has a wasp nest inside of it and it is all cracked. So that's all great. Well, there it is in the light. Way better with those mirrors. Those new shocks are looking really good. Right on. All right, y'all. So we're gonna try to get back on this radio. Just ran down to O'Reilly's and picked up this wiring bezel harness thing. Like a couple bucks. This is going to make your life a lot easier. Instead of having to cut and splice a bunch of wires, you're still going to have to, but this is going to be plug and play basically to this Amazon radio. So basically you have your Toyota plug, go to O'Reilly's, get you another plug that matches Toyota, plugs right in. You got a red wire, you got a red wire. Got a yellow wire, got a yellow wire. Pretty self-explanatory. You literally just plug them all in and be ready to go. All right, y'all, so here we are with the install. I think it looks pretty clean. Like I said, Amazon screwed up and sent me the 10-inch screen. I really only wanted the 7, so it's obviously quite large, but it is what it is. I can still shift. That's first gear, third gear, high gear. It's not bumping it or anything. So that'll work out pretty good. You got your CarLink, Apple CarPlay, come on down to Spotify, basically do whatever you want to do. Works super good, just like a newer car radio. And it has the swivel on there. That way you can kind of adjust it if you wanted to. I'm not going to be able to have very much play because of my shifter. So there's that. I wired up underneath it here, so that way I have my Apple CarPlay. Try to do it pretty clean. Then my microphone I got coming across over here. Same thing. The wire back there is going to the back of the car. I'm wiring up the rear camera. And basically y'all can run this connected to your home Wi-Fi. If you're out camping or something, you come over here. I mean, you can watch Netflix. You know, you have Google, YouTube. You can download, you know, movies or something on here, like I said, so you can swivel it however you want to. You go to your settings. Then you're gonna pull up to the Wi-Fi, connect it over to the Wi-Fi. You know, like I said, bring a hockey puck or whatever with you if you're out camping and you want that Wi-Fi. Last thing, like I said, it's just a single DIN. So I still have my little cubby down here. So this pretty much will work on any vehicle. Y'all, it's a little later in the afternoon the next day. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get some headlights installed on this thing. Our new hats just came in, so check those out. Let us know if you guys would be interested in getting a new hat. We're gonna be working on shirts and some other stuff in the future. I'm gonna show you the headlight kit that I ordered, and I'm gonna show you the wiring harness to kind of make it plug and play. I'm not exactly sure what models and whatnot you're gonna need what harness, but I know on the Toyotas you have to order a special relay to go along with it. You have Jeeps and other stuff. Some of this might work, some of it might not, but I ordered this for the 4Runner, so I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. All right, so this is the headlight that I went with. On the 4Runner, the previous owner wired up these little tiny blinker lights to go with the new bumper, and they just really don't work very well. So I wanted to get something with a built-in flasher, so that way it'd be a little bit easier for cars seeing us. I was thinking about wiring it up over here, but these guys are just super simple. I think they look pretty clean. I'm not a huge fan of the giant LED ones that have the million little LED bulbs. I think they look kind of goofy. This is a little darker to go with the black paint. I think it's gonna look well. I really like these guys because they have pretty easy instruction manual, whatever type of square headlight vehicle you got. For the Toyota, it's gonna be pretty well plug and play with this 3-prong setup. It's gonna slide right into the old harness. It comes with these in case you have a different setup. You can wire it up yourself. It's also gonna have a plug to hook up the blinkers, like I said. For Toyotas, you're gonna need this extra relay kit. This is the company that I got mine through. I think I just ordered it off of Amazon. So it comes with the relays. You're gonna have the side that goes to the new LED headlight. And then on the other side, you have the old one to plug into the factory harness. Pretty well plug and play, so I'm gonna show you all that. All right, so here it is with the new headlights. I think they look super good. You have that wire that comes across to this side. This headlight here, it has the plug in the back for the factory. You plug that in. Then you run the new wire to the new LED, comes on back. I tried to utilize a bolt off of that ground there to wire those up back behind the battery tray. Got my hot wire coming over here to the battery off of the relay. So I think that looks pretty good. And there they are. And they look really, really good. I'm gonna have to adjust the 2 adjustment screws on there once it gets dark and see how it actually looks. Here's the blinker. I think it looks good. All right, y'all, so that's gonna do it for this video. I appreciate y'all watching. Go ahead and look forward to some more videos with this hunting rig coming out here soon, and more hunting videos in the future. If you liked it, go ahead and like it for us, and subscribe, baby.